Book 14 of 2019, I've literally just finished listening to it. So it's called Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T. Kiyosaki. It's a cool name, isn't it? Kiyosaki. This book is all about how the rich, the middle class and the poor view money, and kind of view how to make money and how to have money and all that kind of stuff. It was actually really, really interesting. At first I thought he had two dads and I was like, that's a bit weird, but actually what it is he's got his own dad. He's very, very educated. He's been to, university, got lots of degrees, and he's a school teacher, and is quite well off, but not getting any more money because it's all tied up in like buying his house and living and things like that, whereas he's got another what he calls dad, who's not his dad, it's his friend's dad, and he's quite rich because he views money in a very different way. And it's all about kind of thinking about how you view money. So a lot of people will think, I need to earn money, I'll get a job that pays lots of money, but what they're not recognising is that by doing that job, the more money that you earn, the more money you're paying taxes to the government, the more like you get a taste for money and you improve your lifestyle. So you're always kind of like, I think I've listened to or heard this somewhere before, that people, when, for example, I don't know, say they get paid more money, when they go looking for a house, they always think about what they can afford, like what's the maximum that they can afford. And then when they get that house, they have to keep that job to pay for that mortgage. And this is why lots of people like are broke, because instead of just buying a house that will, suit their needs, and that is probably less than what they can afford, and then they can pay it off earlier, they buy the biggest house that they can afford with, the money that they've got, which is a bit backward in thinking, really. Like, just buy a small house, pay it off earlier, and then if you make more money, then you can buy another house and let that house out. Like, surely that makes more sense. But people don't think like that. People think, right, this is my one purchase, I'm going to get the biggest house I can afford. When you don't really need, a big, massive house. Like, they've done studies before where they do like an infrared kind of tracker system to see how often the rooms in houses are used. And you find that there's only about 3 rooms in the house that are used regularly. So what are all the other rooms for? Like, what do you need them for? You don't really need them. Like, you have like, maybe it wasn't 3 rooms, maybe it was more. You need like kitchen, bathroom, where you sleep, and then where you hang out and socialise or whatever. You need 4 rooms, that's all you need. Like, you don't need like loads of areas. And obviously if you've got children and stuff, you need extra bedrooms, but maybe another room for them to hang out in, but you don't need a massive, massive house. Like, it's just unnecessary. So he's kind of like talking about how rather than just working for somebody else and earning them loads of money and then having to pay half it to the government, like, think of ways that you can make yourself money that's against the status quo. So he talks a lot about assets. That's not it. Assets. Why did I say that? I think it's because I'm listening to it, it's American. Assets. So he talks about like getting an asset. I said it again. Assets. An asset I can't even speak. Asset portfolio, right? Which is basically like trying to find things that will earn you money that you don't really have to do much with. And I thought that this was a really good way of looking at it, but he doesn't really go into much detail about how you actually do that. Like, what on earth is an asset that's creating you that kind of money? So he talks about real estate and how you can kind of get properties and sell them on, if you kind of look at like what's happening and property booms and stuff like that, so you can make a lot of money that way. And also kind of, you can, if you do kind of get a house or whatever and you're going to rent it out, to get a property manager so you don't have to deal with all the kind of like annoying things that you have to deal with when you're letting out property, which I thought was a really interesting thing to suggest, because what I've thought about kind of like far in the future, like getting property and renting it out, but the headaches from that would be a nightmare. But getting a property manager would be a good kind of avenue to kind of go down, I guess, because you wouldn't have to kind of deal with it, be making you money, but you won't have to do anything, so that'd be great. He talks a lot about kind of like the stock market and stuff as well, and how you can buy kind of shares from a company before it goes public and then just sell them once it's gone public, so you can make a lot of money that way. So he talks about like there are different things that you can do with your money to kind of make your money, even though you're not doing anything. Like, I think for me personally, like, I'm really good with money in the sense that I'm not outliving my means. Like this jumper is a tenner, my pants are like £8, like my socks are in like a 6-pack for a tenner, like my underwear probably cost like £1 each. Like, I don't spend a lot of money on like material things. Like, I get things for comfort and for practicality. So like my car is paid for, it's been paid for the last like 2 years. I'm trying to think like what else I would have bought. Like, anything that I've bought outright because I've saved the money to get it beforehand. Like, I'm not in debt. Like, I don't have a credit card. I don't kind of like buy things on credit. Like, I wait until I've got the money to buy it. So I'm really good with money in that sense. But what I'm bad at doing is like actually thinking about investing that money somewhere. I've thought about having bonds and stuff because you get more like interest on those. Like, but I've kind of thought, what if I needed that money in that time? Like, I haven't got money that I can just stick away for 5 years. Like, I'd probably need it because I'm saving for a house and stuff like that. So, but then I have enough money for a house, but I've not bought one yet. Like, I'm really kind of like not great in finance because I didn't really have somebody to kind of teach me finance stuff. Like, and my background is that my kind of family and things play it safe and don't invest any money in anything, and wouldn't know where to start with anything like that, I don't think. So for me, I kind of think that I'm an intelligent person. I should be kind of reading up on this and figuring out how to do things with my money to gain more assets, to kind of get my money working for me, because I have money in the bank there that I could be using that could then make me more money, but I'm just not using it because I'm saving for something. But I could save quicker if I actually invested it and did something with it. So it's kind of like I'm not being smart with my money. Like, I am in a position where not many people are in that position, where I have money in the bank where I could do something with it, and I'm not doing, because I've never been educated in what to do with it. And I think this book's really made me realise that I should be doing more with that money, and I should be kind of figuring out what to do with it to make me more. Not because I want to be rich, but because I want to, what the book is talking about is being financially free. Like, not being in the chains of the status quo, which is where I have to get a job and I have to work my life away to afford to live and to do what I want to do in my lifestyle. So it's all about like trying to be financially free and not being that person that's like, I can't afford to do that, and that's why I don't do it. Like, it's kind of like thinking of different ways to do it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that he was kind of talking about. He talks about how much he loves Donald Trump, which puts me off him a little bit, but I don't think that really discredits what he's talking about. The book is more like getting you to rethink about what you do with your money and are you actually making it work for you, rather than telling you how to do it. I think you have to kind of go and read more books about how to do it, and things like understanding the stock market and real estate and how to become a corporation and things like that. But it was interesting kind of what he talks about, where most people will go and kind of get skilled in an area, get tied into a job, and they have to keep working that job to pay for their house, and you're in that rat race then and you can't get out of it. It's like, I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to get stuck in the rat race. I don't want to have to be working because I've got bills to pay. Like, I want to be a kind of person where I don't have to do anything if I don't want to. My bills are already paid for. So I think I need to get my ass into gear and kind of think about what am I going to do and how am I going to get a life that means that I'm financially free and not in the chains that I'm bringing my philosophy book that I've been reading. Being in the chains is Karl Marx stole from another philosopher. I can't remember his name. I don't know, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, listen to it. It's interesting. It tells you about finance that maybe you've not learned about before, and gets you thinking about, are you doing with your money what you should be, or if you're the kind of person where you're always on the breadline and you haven't got any money left over, then you really should listen to it because it will get you out of that hole. He says if you're in a hole, stop digging, and I think it's true that. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses and trying to look rich to everybody. Like, actually be rich and figure out how you can do that instead.